Hello everyone. Well, I thought I wasn't going to do another video on Starfleet Academy, but here I am. This was episode 4 and 5. I did not like 4 because it was so sad. It did have LeVar Burton on it, and he was playing a Klingon. Why they didn't get the original Worf to do this, to play another Klingon, maybe the father of Worf or something like that, to sympathize with the Klingon, the new Klingon that they have on. But they brought him on. And everything about that episode was just sad. And it wasn't interesting. It was just a story to get sympathy for the new Klingon that's on Starfleet Academy. Well, I watched that and it just wasn't good. So let's move on to the next one that's not good, because there's a lot of not good going on here with Starfleet Academy. First off, they were doing a story about Sam. Sam, they finally told kind of like what she is, but I really don't understand what she is. They made up words. It's Photonic, Holographic body. I had to write that down. And apparently she was made by a group called the KASQ, and they sent her there to analyze what they call humans' organics, to see if they should join the Federation. So she's there to report back to them. I was disturbed by this group because they treated poor old Sam like she was a slave. They said if she did not give a good report back about these organics, then she would come back as a failed emissary. If she's successful in convincing them to join, then she would be a successful emissary that could stay. And the way they talked to her was like a slave. So apparently they created her 3 or 4 months before she joined Starfleet Academy. Okay, so not too fond of the KASQ, but and once again, I feel that the character of Sam is just overdone. She is over happy, and she is irritating. She is just too peppy for Star Trek. She's too peppy for anything unless she's on a kid's show, and she's not. And then they started off with them being in a room where the character Darum ate a banana. Something like a banana was in it, and he was allergic to it for his species, and he threw up glitter. You can't make this up, but they did. So he did that, and the glitter was all on the floor and everything. And then she had a meeting with her KASQ, and they were telling her she better do right or they're going to bring her home and she going to have to serve them. And she decided, because she's an emissary, she's going to be just like James Sisko, Avery Brooks from Deep Space Nine. I don't know why they drug poor old Deep Space Nine into this, but you know, Deep Space Nine was always a comfortable sci-fi show to watch, and you know, and all of a sudden it's involved in a major story in this Starfleet Academy, one of the worst things. You know, I can tell you that right up front. You hear everybody, but that was a storyline, and you did get to see Jake, Sisko's son. So he was in a hologram as a grown person. So she's trying to learn from him about how to be a good emissary. So we switch back to, oh, by the way, they had a 10-minute opening before they played the horrible credits that are just so bad. This is supposed to be a show about young people, and the credits just, it's just slow motion and not good. It's supposed to be young people, and it's supposed to be something energetic. It should have been dun, 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 dun. But no, it's slow motion. So about 29 minutes in, I looked at the clock and I wanted to speed it up, but I held on. I said, I'm gonna review this thing, and so I stayed on it. And on this one, they did. I got my little notes here. They had something that I thought was just not real. Somehow, for this creature to have just been created, and that's Sam, she's been just created, but one of the characters on there, the guy, the Latin guy on there, he has a way of entering her program to do things like change her hair. He changed her hair color to purple, put a big scarf on her, and it wasn't looking right. So he backed off and said, well, we could try this later on. And I'm trying to figure out if she's some type of machinery, how did he get control of her machinery to do that? And the way they did it was like he could have not done that scene. I mean, it just didn't make sense. And there's more that didn't make sense. And I hadn't even got to poor old Holly Hunter. When she first appears, she's still lounging. She is lounging, falling, tumbling. She is just on a couch, on a big fluffy chair. She's rolling around. Bad. And I know Holly Hunter from previous shows and movies, and this just was not for her. At least I'm sure she probably thought it was. She probably thought she could do something with this, but they just have her she's to say in South we say she's just wallowing around. And I'm not kidding. She really is just wallowing around, trying to leave her feet up in the air. She's talking on the couch. They got the camera overhead on her as she's talking, and she's talking to somebody else, but she's talking to. They put the camera on her like that. And she's talking up in the air. And then they did the horrible thing of making Sam drunk by putting in 2 adjustments to her program to make her enjoy the party that they were at. They were at a disco. The disco had the disco had a drag queen and who was serving drinks, and she was serving drinks to Darem, D-A-R-E-M, and the Klingon. And I mean, it's not like I haven't been around drag queens myself, and I know, but it's just like any halfway good thing in this thing, everything is just miscast and out of place. They could have used that drag queen in a show or something, and or more, but they just show her serving a drink to these 2 guys, and the Klingon and him were basically flirting with each other. And that was cool, but once again, that wasn't it. And they are dubbing his voice, because when he talks, the Klingon, when you see him just like you see me, but then all of a sudden, if he starts talking, everybody else would talk and you can see them talking. But when he talks, he says about 1 or 2 words and the camera goes off of him. They're dubbing him. There's something about that voice he's using that's not natural. So they make him go back in and do this over. I don't think they would admit it, but that's what it looks like. Take a check on it. Oh boy, they won't let him say more than 2 words before they take the camera off of him. Now, they will let you watch his reactions, but they will not let you see him speak in any way, in any other way for more than a few seconds. Well, anyway, it goes to when they got the poor old Sam, the photogenic holographic body, they dialed her up to 12 for being drunk. So she was worse than what she originally was. She was just wallowing around drunk, and she's not really drunk. They just programmed drunk. And this was bad, folks. You can't have any sympathy for the girl because she's just been given bad writing, and they didn't take care, just like they didn't take care of Gina Yashir. They just didn't take care of her. And so, anyway, it leads on to Holly Hunter and the upper staff are having a game like they're playing Monopoly. And I don't even know why they had this scene, because it leads up to what? Nothing. Only thing that game led up to is that one of the people in there insulted her about why she's in Starfleet. And he made good sense too. But there she was, feet on the couch, and she's just perplexed as to why he felt that way. But he was right. And after that, another thing they did, they did so many things. This is so bad. They showed Sam crying. And so they have you thinking that she is some type of advanced equipment, but how can she produce tears in a newly developed machine that's only been available for 3 months? And I know they can be, in Star Trek world, they can be sympathetic and emotional, but while she was describing her heartache and pain about everything, she started crying. And so, about that time I was done. I like the little young lady that's on there. I like the situation they got with the Klingon and the other guy flirting with the drag queen serving drinks, but everything that could make a good story was just overrun by stupidity. They made these people bad. And so if you haven't watched the 5th episode, I say watch it because it's bad. I mean, you can just have a good drink on all the bad things. Well, anyway, I just wanted to drop in and let you know I was still checking on it. And I'll probably do another one on it on the 6th episode. So I do thank everybody for dropping in. And I hope you do a like on this. And I will be reviewing other things. There's something else I wanted to review. I'll tell you about that on my next video. All right, everybody. You have a good one. And thank you for dropping in.